Good morning, my dear students. I'm here again with Cambridge International School, Dasua, to help you out during this COVID-19 pandemic. So, let's start for today. So, the chapter number 2 we were doing. So, Consumers Equilibrium, that is the name of the chapter. So, subject is economics. Topic for today is budget line and consumers equilibrium by indifference curve analysis. This is going to be the fourth part of your chapter. And after this, your chapter number 2 is totally finished. Now, your grade is grade 11. So my name is Miss Sarita Seni. So let's continue with today's topics, which we have to be done. So topics to be covered for today. First topic is budget line. Second is difference between budget line and budget set. Then third topic in the last we have to cover is consumers equilibrium by indifference curve analysis. So in the last as we have already done in the previous classes, so questions to be done for today. So in the previous classes we have covered many things. We have discussed about indifference curve, we have talked about indifference map, we have talked about marginal rate of substitution, we have talked about monotonic preferences, we talked about ordinal utility approach, that is also known as indifference curve or Hicksian analysis. So we have done till this all these topics in the chapter number 2. So let's move on, begin with the next topic. So now the next topic is budget line. So consumer budget, that we have to understand first before understanding about budget line. Consumer budget. So in simple words, whatever the budget I am deciding for buying any of the two commodities, and if that commodities comes under my budget, that will be my budget, consumer budget. So consumer budget states the real income or purchasing power of the consumer from which he can purchase certain quantitative bundles of two goods at given price. So that is consumer budget. So before understanding budget line, we have to understand the concept of consumer budget. So consumer, as you know, the person who is consuming the products, and customer is the person who is buying the product. He is using product but not consuming it. So next, it is related to consumer budget only. It means a consumer can purchase only those combinations of goods which cost less than or equal to his income. Suppose I'm consumer and I have 300 rupees with me, and I want to buy 2 kgs of apples and 1 dozen of banana. Now, if I'm able to buy all these two combinations of apple and banana in 300 rupees, then that is my consumer budget. It would be even if I'm buying at less price than 300, then also it will be my consumer budget, which I am thinking of before talking about budget line. Now, what is budget line? Budget line is a graphical representation of all possible combinations. So both the goods which we have bought, so whatever the combinations of two goods we are making on the graph, like we were doing in the indifference curve, in the different combinations we were showing in the PPC also, PPF also. So a representation of all possible combinations of two goods which can be purchased with given income and prices, the prices which was given to you, and at the income which I'm having, that will be bought on this, so such that the cost of each of these combinations is equal to the money income of the consumer. So money income that I told you in the example, that is 300 rupees, and the combinations, whether I'm buying 1 dozen of banana and 2 kgs of apples, then I am buying one uh, one uh, 1 dozen of banana and maybe 1.5 combination for 1.5 kg of apples. So whatever the combination, I'm making it within the rupees 300 and the prices which I'm mentioning on the line, and it will be shown on the graphs. So that will be called it as budget line. So the line which will be crossing all the combinations, that is called as budget line. So I'll give you more in detail. So let's move on to the next topic. So what is the next? So next is the concept related to budget line and budget set. There are two terms. One is budget line, another is budget set. So budget line represents all those bundles that the consumer can purchase by spending his entire income at the given prices. So whatever the prices of the two goods were there, and if I spent my whole income for buying the combination of two goods or the bundles of two goods, we call it as the budget line. So next is budget set. So it include all the possible bundles which cost less than or equal to the consumer's money income at the given prices. So that is the point. Next is the bundles of budget set lie either on or below the budget line. So budget set always lie either on or below the budget line. So budget set is the combination. So all the possible bundles which we are taking on the budget line, that we are talking about budget set. Fine. So for the second point, the bundles of budget set lie either on or below the budget line. जा तो लाइन के ऊपर होगा, जा लाइन के नीचे होगा. So that is the budget set. And for budget line, so bundles of budget line lie only on the budget line. So all the bundles which we are showing for the commodities, two commodities, fine. So that will be always lying on the budget line. So we are showing it on the budget line. Now let's move on to the detail of budget line further. So here is the schedule for budget line. So we have got two commodities. One is apple. So the cost for each apple is Rupaya 4 and for banana is Rupaya 2. So we have got combinations like E, F, G, H, I, J, and for apples the combination is 5 apples. We bought it and our budget for this is 20 rupees. So for 20 rupees we bought only apples in the first combination. So 5 into 4 will be 20 and 0 into 2 will be 20. So that will be the total will be 20. For the next combination we bought 4 of apples and we bought 2 bananas. So one banana is costing of 2 rupees and 2 into 2 that will be 4. And for 4 into 4 that will be 16. 16 plus 4 it will be again 20. So the combination will be similar and that will be providing us the proper income which we spent for this. Next thing is G combination. In the G combination we are taking 4 bananas and 3 apples, and again the cost we have to calculate like similarly. So 3 into 4 that is the cost. So 3 into 4 will be 12 and 4 into 2 it will be 4 into 2 it will be 8. So 12 into 8 again 12 plus 8 it will be 20. So similarly we are able to find out the various combinations. In the end J combination, you can see we are not buying a single unit for apple but we are buying all the units for bananas. So it will be again the costing of that will be 20 rupees. So you can see the combination and you can see all the that in figure 2.8 that is given in your book even. So they have mentioned the same picture and in that picture they are representing the budget line and the combinations which I have shown you here, J, I, H, G, E, F. So all will be started, will be represented here. So the combination which is shown on the line, that is your budget line. So the combination J, I, H, G, F, E, that is representing as A and B. So AB is your budget line and the points which are beyond your budget line that are always called as unattainable combination, and the point which is inside the budget line and the graph that will be called it as income is underspend. That means the person is having more income, but he has not spent it fully. So he is not getting the full satisfaction after spending his money. So this is the budget line in detail with the help of your schedule and your graph. So you know what is schedule? The table which is shown on the left hand side, that will be the schedule, and for budget line, the on the right hand side, figure 2.8, that is showing your graph, that is showing your curve for budget line. So let's move on to the now next thing. So what is the next thing in budget line? So some important points about budget line. The first thing is line AB slopes downwards. So I've explained to you already, AB was slopes downward. So as more of one good can be bought by decreasing some units of other. So what we are doing, जब banana हमने खरीदे, तो we started declining some units of, we started decreasing some units of apples. Similarly, if we started buying more of apples, we started decreasing some units of your banana. So this is the slope. This is why AB, your budget line, is always slopes downward. This is the reason behind that. Next is bundles. Bundles which cost exactly equal to consumers' money income, like combinations E to J. So lie on the budget line. So whatever 20 rupees was the budget, so all the combinations which are just costing exactly equal to the consumer's money. So that was 20 rupees. So it was always equal. So you can check all the combinations that we are showing that is equal. So in that case, we call it as that is shown on the budget line. So all the combinations that will be lying on the A to AB line. Next is bundles which cost less than consumers money income, like D, combination D, I told you. So shows underspending. That means they lie inside the budget line. So the consumer was having more money, but he has not spent the full money. So in this case, that was the attainable level, but it was underutilized. So the income was underutilized, underspent. Next is bundles which cost more than consumers' money income, like combination C, are not available to the consumer. They lie outside the budget line. So they are always lying outside the budget line. So we have already done this. So combination C is always outside, beyond the income limit of the consumer. So because of more than that, so we call it as the main important points about budget line when we are discussing. Next is the algebraic expression of budget lines. So let's do it. So algebraic expression of budget line is again the similar one which we have done. So M is your money income is equal to M is equal to money income, and that is equal to price of apple and then quantity of apple. So suppose the price for apple we have already discussed, that was price for apple is 4. We did that, and units were, that is represented with q. So price and q of both apples will be multiplied, then plus price of bananas plus quantity of banana will be added here. So we will get the value with this. So algebraic expression of budget line will be calculated like this. So we have already used this in the schedule when we were preparing. So next, let's move on to the slope of the budget line, how we will find out this. So we know the slope of a curve is calculated as a change in variable on the vertical or y-axis divided by change in variable on the horizontal or x-axis. In the example of apples and bananas, slope of the budget line will be number of units of bananas that the consumer is willing to sacrifice for an additional unit of apple. So again, like we were calculating MRS, we were calculating MOC. So similar is that slope of budget line is equal to units of bananas, that is B, willing to sacrifice. So how many units of banana we sacrifice for buying more units of apple. So that is the difference we are taking it. So on the basis of this, we have discussed uh, the slope as seen in figure 2.8. Bananas need to be sacrificed each time to gain one apple. So if we have to gain one apple, so we need to sacrifice two apple. So that is the point. The slope of budget line is equal to price ratio. We always call it as price ratio. Fine. So of two goods. Now, what is price ratio or market rate of exchange? Slope of budget line or market rate of exchange. The ratio of prices of the two goods is the value of the slope of budget line. In other words, MRE is the rate at which consumer has to units sacrifice units to obtain one more unit of X. So we have to sacrifice a unit of, like we have discussed already. So MRE is always equal to price of good X over good X obtained over price of the good sacrificed for good other good. So px over py, so price of x good over price of y good. So price of good obtained, that is px, and the price of good sacrifice, that is py. So mre always equal to px over py. So that is the point. Next, so why is the slope of budget line represented by price ratio? So reason behind is a point on budget line indicates a bundle which the consumer can purchase by spending his entire income. So if he wants to have one more unit of good X, he will have to give up some amount of good Y. Suppose price of X is rupiah 4 per unit, and that is PX, and that of good Y is rupiah 2. So to get one extra unit of X, he has to sacrifice 2 units of good Y. So slope of budget will be units of unit sacrificed and unit gained. So 2 over 1, that will be 2 is the answer. Price ratio is Px over Py. So 4 units of 4 divided by 2. So cost of price of x is 4 and price of y is 2. So divided by this will be answer is 2 again. Now the slope of budget line is always equal to price ratio. So this should be kept in your mind. So you know how we have calculated? So I think it is clear to you. Now the next thing is properties of budget line. So budget line is downward sloping. Yes, this we have already discussed, because as we are consuming one, we are sacrificing one good for buying other more units of other good, so it will be always negative sloping. Fine. So budget line has negative slope, that is, it slopes downwards as more of one good can be bought by decreasing some units of other good. Next is budget line. Budget line is straight line. The slope of budget line is represented by the price ratio. As price ratio is constant throughout, the budget line is a straight line. Next is shift in budget line. So yes, there are two types of shifts. One is effect of change in income on budget line. So it can be rightward shift, it can be leftward shift. So when it comes, so you can see there is a rightward shift, that is B to B1 and A to A1. That will be AB line is now shifted to A1 B1, so that will be the value. So budget line shifts to the right from AB to AB1 due to increase in income. So if my income is increased, my budget is also increased, so I will shift to the rightward side. So if my income is decreased, so my budget will also decrease, so it will shift to the leftward side. So it will be shifting to AB2 A2 B2. So it will be shifting to this side. So my income is decreased. So it is very simple concept, not very difficult one. So next is effect of change in the relative prices. Now relative prices is means two commodities, apples as well as bananas. So it will be made accordingly. So here is the curve that is representing bananas. So apples and bananas, they are just talking about x-axis. So if we are getting more units of, so if we are getting budget line shifts from AB to A dash B due to due to decrease in price of apples, so that will be which shift? That will be a change. So that will be a movement. Fine. Next is budget line shifts from AB to A to B due to increase in price of apples. So if prices decreases, so it will shift to the inward movement. So it will shift to the inside. And if the prices are increased, then it will shift to the outward. So I hope this is clear to you. Similar is the case when we are talking about bananas. So in the case of bananas, now we have to talk about y-axis. So on the y-axis, the same graph like A and A1 to A and A to A2, it will be represented. So here we are going to represent it like B to B1 and B2, that we have to show it on the y-axis. So this is obvious one. So in the last topic of your chapter, the topic is consumers equilibrium by indifference curve analysis. So we have already discussed about this. That is, let me discuss the previous thing which we have discussed about this. So that was consumer equilibrium. So what is consumer equilibrium? Consumer equilibrium refers to a situation in which consumer derives maximum satisfaction with no intention to change it and subject to given prices and his given income. जितना पैसा मुझे किसी ने बोला है एक प्रोडक्ट खरीदने के लिए, ठीक है, जितने पैसे मेरे पास थे, मुझे उस पर कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं थी, कोई इंटेंशन नहीं थी उसको चेंज करो, मैंने उसी पे उसको खरीदा और मुझे उसकी वजह से मन में पूरी शांति मिली. सो व्हाट इज दैट? दैट विल बी कंज्यूमर्स इक्विलिब्रियम पॉइंट. So the money I am spending and the satisfaction which I'm getting with buying those commodities with my money, that will be consumers equilibrium point. The stage of rest we can say for the consumer. So mind of consumer uh, is in rest after spending money and he is getting the proper satisfaction. Now, what is consumer's equilibrium condition? What are the conditions which are applying while we are thinking of consumer's equilibrium by indifference curve analysis? The first condition which I have to talk about is when marginal rate of substitution MRS is equal to ratio of prices of two goods, that is equal to px over py. So this is the first condition. If it is equal, then we are talking about consumers equilibrium in the indifference curve analysis. So next thing is when MRS X is continuously falling. So when MRS is falling, then indifference curve should be convex to the origin. So indifference curve is always convex to the origin. So this we have already discussed. Now let the two goods be or be x and y as shown in the following figure. So you can see E is the tangency point of budget line on indifference curve IC2. So the line which is representing all the combinations, we call it as budget line. So here we are just representing that line with the help of tangent. So the tangent E is representing your IC curve 2. So it will be showing you the combination. So this is also showing combination of two goods. So tangency point of budget line of indifference curve IC2, that will be showing this. Now for this two basic tools, indifference map, that is set of all indifference curves representing scale of preferences, and budget line representing money income and money prices of two goods are required. So for this we call it as consumers equilibrium curve. So you can see there are three curves, three IC curves, indifference curve. First one is IC3, second one is IC2, that will be made with the help of tangent E, and that is represented with M on the graph. So this is the point of consumers equilibrium under indifference curve. So then as the last curve, that is IC1. Fine. Next we have now questions for today. Questions to be done for today. First is define budget line with schedule and curve. We have already discussed. Then the question is difference between budget line and budget set. So you can add more points if you're getting from any other book. So what are the properties of budget line? You have to explain two properties of budget line. Then what are the shifts in budget line? So you can explain that one also in detail. Then in the last, explain consumers equilibrium by indifference curve analysis. So you can read more if you want from your book. So from Dhanpat Rai Publications. So that was published by the person Sandeep Garg. So you can use that book, and if you have any kind of doubt, you can discuss with me. So in few days we are going to finish this. I guess this we are going to finish this chapter by today, and now after that we are going to finish your book part B, Introductory Microeconomics, uh, with these classes. So if it was possible, maybe we are going to have some live classes. Uh, so then if you're having any kind of doubt, I can take your doubts in detail and I will explain you in detail those classes. So far everything is, I guess, doing good, and all you are, I feel, is happy. And in the end, I would say thank you. God bless you. Enjoy learning at home. Stay happy. And Cambridge International School, the SUA, is always there to help you. And don't worry about anything. Be happy. So we will always support you in the time of need. So yes, world is suffering with COVID-19 pandemic, and this pandemic is going to finish when we are joining all hand together, and be careful regarding all the precautions given by our doctors, our PM. So we need to follow that and enjoy learning at home. So this is a time we can utilize for making our stream good while learning. So one tip I have to give in the end is, yes, when we are attempting your paper of grade 11, you always have to attempt your paper with all the questions. You need not to skip any of the question while we are doing your this attemptation of paper. Fine. So let's see. I'll give you more tips in the next lessons. So that is the first step for you. You need not to skip a single question while attempting your paper. So you need to attempt all the questions that is given in the paper. You know which type of questions I've discussed in your syllabus part when I was talking about your introductory microeconomics. So let me discuss further more tips with you. So thank you so much. God bless you. Enjoy learning at home. Stay happy, healthy, and always enjoy learning at home. So Cambridge International School, the SUA, is always with you. Don't worry, be happy.